Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American brews and tunes. Shibbity beeby dow.
Gotcha.
Here we are.
Oh my goodness.
Surprise.
I can't believe it.
Is it a surprise?
It's been so long.
It's been so long.
It's been too long. Yeah. Just for the record, we are 6 feet apart.
I think we're over 6 feet apart.
Yeah, probably about 6. So we are recording this in the same room, but we are safely social distancing right now.
Yes, we are.
So as not to spread
any potential
anything.
Sicknesses. For those of you who have been living under a rock, but still have access to our podcast, we are in the midst of a global pandemic.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Coronavirus, COVID-19, whichever you want to call it by, same thing.
Yep.
But yeah, we've been dealing with that, and so we haven't actually recorded for a little over 2 months.
Oh yeah, 2 months. It's been a long time.
Yeah, last episode we did was episode 93, which we reviewed Mac Miller's Circles.
Oh wow, yeah, that was a long time ago.
But now we're back for episode 94.
You know the Game Grumps?
Only through you.
I think if on YouTube, if you talk about the coronavirus, your video gets demonetized.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so they've been calling it the Backstreet Boys World Tour.
Oh my gosh! Just so that it doesn't
get flagged or anything.
Oh, so weird.
So they were like, everybody, the Backstreet Boys are back.
All right, that's so goofy.
Don't get your tickets to the Backstreet Boys World Reunion Tour.
Oh my goodness!
Stay inside. It's really
funny.
Wow,
yeah, that's goofy.
But anyway, we can say it on a podcast because podcasts are the Wild West,
and we can't be demonetized because we've never been monetized.
Yeah.
Try and take that which we haven't had. Good luck. Actually, they can do that probably. We'll just
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
No, but we can't be.
But anyway, for this episode, we thought it would just be good to talk about albums that we've been listening to for the past 5 months.
Since we've been in
2 months, sorry.
Lockdown. Well, Jesse is technically an essential worker. Not technically. You are an essential worker.
Yeah.
So you've been out and about working. I, however, am not an essential worker, but I have been fortunate enough to work from home.
Yeah.
So I at least have a job, which I'm thankful for.
Yeah, it is something to be thankful for right now.
But since we can't really go out or do anything, we've been quarantined. We've been in lockdown. So what can you do but play video games, watch movies, listen to music?
Yeah,
learn to
pretty
cook.
Much it.
Just
try to learn to cook. Yeah,
I haven't learned very much. But we've been listening to a ton of music, and we're here to share some of that with you.
Yeah, and of course, we're going to be trying beers as well.
Yes, well, otherwise we would just be American tunes.
Yeah, and that's not who we are.
That's definitely not what we're about. Yeah, we're about American brews and tunes.
That's right.
So we'll get you the brews, we'll get you the tunes.
Yeah,
right here on American Brews.
Right here, right now.
Yeah. My name is Steven Johnston. I guess I didn't introduce myself.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
Now that you know us,
let's talk about some music and drink some beer.
Yeah, let's.
Right.
What should we delve into first?
Let's try this IPA from Goose Island.
Good thinking.
It is called Next Coast IPA, and it is 40 IBUs and 7% alcohol by volume.
That's pretty high.
I'm assuming
I've got a good description here from Untapped if you like to hear.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Here's what it says. It's 7%, but totally crushable, and not quite like any other IPA you've had. I don't know, that's a pretty bold statement.
That is quite bold.
Big, bracing, piney hop flavors meet a tropical bouquet of Eureka, Nugget, and Mosaic, Citra, and 06277 hops. That must be like a brand new one that they haven't given a name.
Experimental one, yeah.
There's a balanced bitterness that blends seamlessly into a light, medium body. Sip it or rip it. Whatever. We're not your mom.
What the heck?
I don't know. That description sounded like a lot of IPAs I've had.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know.
It's so piney and it blends so well.
We'll see, though. I'm kind of curious to try it.
Yeah, so we're going to give this one a shot first, and then we'll give another one a shot.
Goose Island is a good brewery. Based out of Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, yeah.
60652.
612, right?
I don't know. I was just going by Scruff McGruff's address.
Huh?
Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. I think that's what it was.
He's in... I didn't know McGruff had a
the crime
song.
The Crime Dog? Oh, yeah. He's got everything. theme song. He's got a little partner. I can't remember what the partner is. Scruffy. But yeah, Goose Island's a good brewery. You may know them from the Goose IPA, which is pretty widespread.
Pretty standard.
Or the 612.
312.
312 wheat ale or whatever, urban wheat ale.
Yes.
They also have the Bourbon County brand stout.
Yeah, so they're
a craft brewery, but they've
brewery.
got big distribution because Coors bought them out a while ago.
Yes.
Which people get angry by that. I don't care. They're still, I believe, in control of their beer.
Yep.
Ooh, this smells really good.
Does it?
Yeah, it's really, really pretty aromatic.
Ooh, that does smell pretty good.
It doesn't smell very abrasive. It's more like a fruity hop smell.
Yeah. But still, 7%.
The bouquet of hops is what they say.
It's only 40 IBUs as well.
So I
think it's going to be pretty smooth.
Not going to be super bitter based on that. 7% technically makes it high grav.
True. Anything over 6.2% is
Something
high
like,
grav?
I believe so,
Something like that. But anyway.
It's got a nice light yellow color.
It is quite light.
Slightly hazy, but not a hazy IPA by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Let's what do you say we give it a try?
Let's give it a cheers.
As we always say in American Brews and Tunes,
Shibbidi-beep-boop-doo!
We clinked glasses from 6 feet apart.
Our arms are very long.
Our arms are 3 feet long each. Ooh, this is good.
That's solid.
This tastes like a really good summer beer.
Yeah.
And it matches their description, I'd say. I don't know if it's as piney as I would want it to be based on the description.
Yeah, I'm getting pininess. It's just not as strong as like a normal like West Coast style IPA.
Yeah. It's piney, but not
Maybe that's why they're calling it Next
resiny.
Coast.
Could be.
Because it's not
really
quite a West Coast style.
I'd say crushable, yeah. This is a good summertime
It is.
IPA.
It is tasty though. I like it.
Floral. It's a good one. I like this. I would have it again. Would I seek it out? Actually, maybe.
Really?
I don't know. If you're having a hot day and you want to just drink a nice IPA,
Yeah.
you don't want to have like a sludgy, an enjoy by perhaps when you're sitting in 90-degree weather.
True.
This might be something you want to have in 90-degree weather.
Which it currently is in Nashville.
Unfortunately.
90 degrees.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's crazy. Stop being so hot, Nashville. Come on.
Well, it's not even summer yet, so it's gonna keep getting. Well, it'll just stay consistently hot.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the first beer, and we'll try the next one here in a little bit.
Yeah.
After we talk about some music.
Yeah, let's talk about some music. I'm gonna talk about the first album that has been heavily in my rotation since the end of January.
Okay.
This is the album "I'm Separate" by Band-Aid Brigade.
Yes.
I think this is a fantastic album. It's a fairly small band comprised of Zach Quinn from Pears and Brian Wallstrom. He's been in a lot of bands, but the one I know him from, Scorpios. He's worked with Joey Cape a lot.
Yeah.
They both were on 1 Week Records with Joey Cape, which they kind of met up that way and decided to do Band-Aid Brigade. Yeah,
I think, weren't they like saying at one point, they were like, we both like kind of like this 80s rock type feel.
Yeah.
And then we want to make music start a band.
We just want to make music that's good.
Yeah.
And so there's like 80s synth pop. There's like some 90s alternative music.
Yeah, it's a really good album.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place genre-wise a little bit, but it all makes sense together.
Yeah.
It's super catchy.
Really good melodies.
Really fun. Yeah, great
really
melodies,
fun
chord choices. I think it's fantastic. Everyone should listen to it. I think everyone can enjoy it, no matter what you like. If you are curious, 2 songs that I would recommend is the first track, Everything, or the song Break the Grid.
Yeah.
Either of those are good ones.
Both good songs.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good album. I think it's got some nice, serious subject matter, except for the last song, which they talk about the butt train. Like the songs don't sound like jokey at all, but if you look up their Instagram and see any of their videos,
they're pretty jokey.
Yeah, they're pretty hilarious. Have you watched any of them?
Any of the videos? No.
Just look up Band-Aid Brigade and watch some of their videos. They're just so goofy. A lot of close talking.
A lot of close talking?
Yeah.
You mean like when their faces are like a couple inches away from each other?
Like the close talker in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Can't do any close talking during coronavirus.
No, you can't. That's just not right.
No.
That's pretty funny, though.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we're going to do... Do you have 5 albums?
Yeah, we can just do however many you want.
I picked 5, but I've got a couple honorable mentions.
Okay.
I'll go through maybe 1 or 2 other albums, give my honorable mentions, and then we'll crack another brew. How about that?
Sounds good.
How about that?
Sounds like a plan, man.
The second album that I have been liking quite a bit lately is Petals for Armor by Hayley Williams.
Oh, I still haven't listened to that.
It came out May 8th. It's really good. Definitely worth a listen. She is the front woman of Paramore.
Yes.
Paramore is not broken up. They're just taking a break right now. Right after they had their last album was called After Laughter. It's funny to say. After Laughter.
After Laughter.
Huge album for them. Commercially and critically, everyone seemed to like it quite a bit. But she decided to go solo. And what she came up with, Petals for Armor. And this album's kind of, I don't know how you would break it down, but it's essentially split up into 3 5-song EPs.
Okay.
Petals for Armor 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, weird.
And in that way, and kind of when you listen to the music, it's fairly conceptual. I'd say it's a concept album. I don't know if she has said it. I haven't really looked into interviews too terribly much, but I wouldn't be surprised if she says somewhere that it's a concept album.
Okay.
It seems to be like a journey that she goes through, at least what I gather. She kind of examines her shame, her failed marriage with Chad Gilbert, the guy from Newfound Glory.
Oh, okay. Wow.
She talks about one of the themes is femininity that kind of comes and goes throughout the album. When she was in Paramore and like in her early days, she was kind of like one of the guys, like, you know,
yeah,
like what's up, bro? Like,
yeah,
not really being girly.
Huh.
And so she's trying to embrace that more, and she kind of comes to a head of acceptance and kind of really has a positive outlook in the end. There's some not so happy songs, but in the end, you kind of get a positive outlook,
a positive vibe from it.
Yeah, maybe we'll review. I'll have you listen to this maybe for an episode one day. We'll see. Musically, it's definitely more experimental than Paramore. It's a lot more out there. I've heard a lot of different people compare this to Thom Yorke and Radiohead.
Oh, interesting.
I can definitely hear that in the melodies and some of the arrangements. And even on some of the songs, the percussion. You can hear it. On the album In Rainbows, percussion, I think, is one of the biggest things that I got out of it upon the first listen. The way that the drums and the percussion comes and goes throughout the album, but also the way it's mixed and just the sound of it is really prominent. And you get that a little bit here too. It's an interesting thing. It's really, really cool. I'm excited to see where she goes. I don't know if she's going to have more solo stuff or if she's going to go back to Paramore. But either way, good for you, Hayley Williams. It's awesome. 2 songs that I would recommend that you check out if you don't want to listen to the whole thing. What's wrong with you if that's you? 2 songs is the first song, Simmer. You get a lot of angst and hatred on there. A little simmer of hatred. And another song is called Watch Me As I Bloom. Very different.
Watch Me As I Bloom.
Yeah. A lot of floral references, flowers, like Petals for Armor, songs about roses, all kind of interesting stuff. A lot of imagery. And if you want to see some artsy videos, they've released a bunch of music videos, and they're very artsy.
They're very artsy?
Artsy-fartsy.
Okay, cool.
But nice, good artsy.
Nice.
Yeah. Any albums you want to talk about?
Yeah.
So far, since I've gotten through 2 albums?
Yeah, one album that I've been listening to a lot recently, and which I assume that you've been listening to a lot recently as well, is Pear's new album.
I have been listening to that a ton. It's not on my list, but I've listened.
Their self-titled album, Pears. I started listening to Pears, I guess, Green Star during that album.
When I recommended that one?
Yeah, when you recommended that one. That was a while ago.
It was one of the earlier ones.
One of the earlier episodes.
I had recommended that one thinking, I was like, maybe he'll like this because the melody's in there, but I don't know if it's going to be too heavy. We'll see.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Pears is, I guess, like a melodic hardcore band.
Yeah, melodic hardcore is a good way to describe it.
Probably the best descriptor for them.
And Zach Quinn is their frontman, who's also in Band-Aid Brigade.
Yeah, we talked about Band-Aid Brigade.
Band-Aid Brigade.
But yeah, this album is fantastic. Like, since from Green Star to this album, everything is way tighter.
The production's nice.
The production's way better sounding. Songwriting is really good. Melodies are great.
They play with dynamics, timing, all kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
The musicianship is very tight.
Yeah. The first song that they released from it was Comfortably Dumb. Yes. Which is one of my favorite songs on the album. Also, well, I mean, I like the entire album.
It's my favorite is the one where he's singing about his bed.
Yeah, singing about
take
nap
that nap.
time. But if I would recommend the song Dial Up as well.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's a super good song.
And they throw in some references to 90s music.
Yes.
Macarena and some other goofy ones.
Yep.
Gets a little poignant on there, too, when he sings a song about his peepaw.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think that song's called Peepaw.
It is called Peepaw, yeah.
Great album.
It's a fantastic album. I would definitely recommend listening to that if you have not already.
If you're put off by heavy music, it's still worth checking out because they do break into some really good, memorable melodies.
Yeah, they do.
And when I think of Pears, I always think of when the melodies come, it's like a nice treat that you need, and it sounds really good, and it's always like a refreshing, like, ooh,
yeah,
nice.
it's not. It makes their songs less 2D and more 3D.
Yeah, less abrasive. It's like a palate cleanser almost, and it adds that depth.
Yeah,
the 3D depth.
Another album that I've been listening to a lot recently is Jeff Rosenstock's newest album.
Oh, that's on my list as well.
Called No Dream.
Yeah, let's talk about that one.
It's a fantastic album.
Fantastic. How old is that album?
Not very old.
It's like
2
weeks or 3 weeks old, maybe?
Yeah. So for the past 3 weeks, I've been listening to that album almost every single day.
Same. It was a surprise, also.
It was. I had no idea that he was going to release another album.
I knew he had recorded, but he didn't say anything else pretty much about it.
He was just like, all right, time to release it.
Yeah, it was almost the exact same thing as 2018's Post.
Yeah, it was just like New Year's Day.
He
was like, hey,
surprise, I got a new full-length album.
Yeah.
Here it is. Download it for free.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool how he does that. Post, the album, had kind of touched upon the world post Donald Trump being elected. Mm-hmm. No Dream talks about all the crazy things going on in the world, and it's not a dream.
Yeah.
it's real.
No dream. It's real. It's happening.
I mean, it's not all a like political album. There's a lot of personal stuff in this album, too. A lot more introspective than some of his stuff that I thought it would be based on at least that description of No Dream, like everything that's going on is real. Because they talk about like the ice stuff and the kids in cages.
Yeah.
But there's also some really, really personal stuff on here. Like he's got stuff about capitalism, depression, growing older and still being a touring musician, wonders what that's all about.
Yeah.
Like looking at yourself in the mirror and wondering if you're become the person that you thought you would be.
Yeah.
A lot of self-reflection on this album.
That's I feel like that's something that you always think about as you get older.
Yeah. And he dives into that big time here.
Yeah, it's always really interesting to think about that, which is I don't know, it's really good. Yeah. So then there's that one song that he talks about someone renting out a room, their mom renting out their room.
B&B.
Yeah.
Like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. It's
song
funny.
as well.
Lyrically, it's a really good album, but musically is just on point with the lyrics. Mm-hmm. It's where Post was a little bit more post-punk.
Yeah, it was definitely a switch in style for him.
Yeah, this one I think is a slight return to form, but also a progression at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely more similar to like Worry.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Are you good? Are we good?
We cool?
We cool? Yeah, we cool.
So a little bit more return to that sound, but it's again all over the place and worth listening to.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I got 3 recommendations from this one.
Okay.
The song Scram.
Yes.
The title track, No Dream.
Don't you wanna scram?
And the last song is Old Crap.
Old Crap?
Yeah.
All fantastic.
That's the one that starts off all like acoustic and kind of high, like lo-fi sounding, and then turns into a punk song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit longer. Oh, no. One song that I would definitely recommend from that is Ohio Turnpike.
That's the last one.
Or TN... Was it
TPKY or something like that? Yeah, but it's Ohio Turnpike.
Yeah.
He's talking about being an aging musician.
Yeah, that one is... It seems like that one's not like an outlier on the album, but definitely like the most different.
Yeah, I think the last maybe 3 songs kind of tone it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a good change of pace.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite song on the album.
Shall we move on to a second beer?
Let's move on to a second beer, my man.
Right. I'll let you pour it while I give my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I mean,
first I'll say the second beer we're having is from Southern Grist Brewing Company, which is a local brewery to Nashville.
One of our favorites.
Yes. And it is a Copra Kai Marshmallow Double Coconut. I'm assuming stout.
Definitely a stout.
Milk stout brewed with lactose, marshmallows, and double the amount of toasted coconut. will do an onslaught of karate-like moves to your taste buds.
The Copra is because of coconut.
Coal.
Copra.
Yes.
The original Copra Kai is just coconut. It's like a coconut stout, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So this one's got marshmallow, lactose, and twice the amount of coconut.
Copra Kai.
We like Southern Grist. It's a good brewery.
Yeah, they're a fantastic brewery.
Yeah. But while he pours that and does his untapped business, I've got 3 honorable mentions of albums that I've been listening to. I'll just talk about them, but I won't go into too much detail. The first is the album "This Land Is Your Landfill" by the Homeless Gospel Choir.
Yeah, I forgot that came out.
Yeah, if you've ever listened to the Homeless Gospel Choir, he's a fairly political punk rock DIY musician from Pittsburgh, the greatest city on earth. But he's usually a pretty lo-fi solo musician, a lot of acoustic stuff. But this one is a proper full band release, and it's a very stylistic change for him, but in a good way. It's got a lot of good stuff on there. It's worth checking out if you like any of that stuff. All of his music is protest songs. This is a protest song.
Well, yeah, he in a live show, he always says this is a protest song before he starts a song.
I don't think he's ever said the name of his songs when he plays them live. He's just like this is a protest song.
Yeah.
My next honorable mention is the album Reunions by Jason Isbell.
Oh, really?
I never know how to pronounce his name as a non-Southerner.
Isbell?
It's Isbell.
As a non-Southerner.
Isbell. Jason Isbell?
Jason Isbell?
Because I've heard him introduce himself. He's like, "Hi, my name's Jason Isbell."
My name is Jason Isbell.
He's from Alabama, I think.
I do not know.
But this is his follow-up to his fantastic last record, which was called The Nashville Sound.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe it's actually his band's Jason Isbell and the
400
unit.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I'm not a fan of country music. This is kind of country, kind of like alt
His is more
folk,
like folk, like alternative folk.
alt folk rock, but it's really good stuff. A lot of poignant songwriting. There's some rock stuff in there. It's definitely worth checking out.
It's definitely not bro country.
Yeah, I'm not a country fan, and I like this. So it's if you are hesitant about country, still check it out.
Well, yeah, check him out. He's just a good songwriter, a good guitar player.
He's a fantastic guitar player. I was blown away the first time I saw him doing solos. And my last honorable mention is the album "Bury Me in Philly." Well, I can't remember if it's Philly or Philadelphia, but either way, "Bury Me in Philly" by Dave Haas.
Oh, I've never heard of that or him.
You might have missed him, or you might have. I can't remember. He opened up for Bad Religion when we saw them. You were upstairs listening to the Weird Sisters.
Right, yeah.
And I think you missed Dave Haas.
I did miss Dave Haas,
but I had heard of him, and I never really listened to him, and me and Becca really liked his set. So I bought one of his albums, and I liked it quite a bit. It's worth listening to. Check it out. It's kind of like folky singer-songwriter. If you like the Gaslight Anthem, that kind of style, it's in that vein, yeah.
Also, the Weird Sisters. They're a fantastic local Nashville band.
Yeah, if you're
give them a listen.
Looking for fun stuff to listen to.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Anyways, back to the brew?
Yeah, back to the beer. So it's the Copra Kai.
It's dark as night.
It's really dark. I'm really excited to try. I want a lot of coconut.
It smells like coconut. It smells like toasted coconut. Because you don't get the smell from coconut when you have raw coconut. You got to toast it, to get that fragrant smell. This smells like toasted coconut.
It smells really good, though.
You get that, and you get the sip of the stout flavor smell. So let's say we give it a try.
Let's give it a try.
As you always say in American Brews and Tunes,
clink
down the coconut hatch. Definitely coconut. Definitely marshmallow. You get that creaminess from the lactose.
That's tasty.
And the stout flavor. It's dessert, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really good. This is on par with pretty much every other brew from Southern Grist.
Yeah.
Tasty, delicious.
I actually really like the toasted coconut flavor.
I do too. It's very strong.
It has like a tiny little bit of bitterness with that flavor, with the coconut being toasted.
It's nice with the roastiness of the stout.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like a dark chocolate coconut thing going on.
Yeah, that's tasty.
Yeah. Very good.
Great job.
Very different from the last beer. This I might not necessarily want to have outside in 90-degree weather.
No, I would. This is a beer that I want to have inside an air-conditioned house.
Yes. I concur. I concur big time.
Why don't I say another album that I've been listening to recently?
Yes, please do.
This one's going back to 2010.
What?
2010.
What a good year for graduating high school.
Anyway, it's the album Cavalcade.
Oh, by the Flatliners.
By the Flatliners. After you had recommended me Inviting Light.
I bought the 10-year anniversary vinyl of it.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, Fat Records did a really limited pressing, and I just happened to catch it before it sold out.
Dang, nice.
So good. I love this record.
Yeah, so after you recommended Inviting Light by the Flatliners to me, it was a while after I listened to that, and then I decided I should probably listen to their back catalog.
Yeah.
And I started listening to this, and it is just like a fast flurry of
it's way more
music.
punk than Inviting Light.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, the first song, the intro is like, "We are the four horsemen of the rock apocalypse," or something like that. And so
it comes in with that fast punk beat.
Yeah, you kind of get the intro, and you're like, okay, this is just going to be a fast, really high energy punk album.
Yeah, and there are some punk songs, but there's also some slower stuff, kind of reminiscent of Inviting Light.
Yeah,
but they still keep a little bit of the ska alive.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
They used to be a full-on punk ska band, and they dropped that fairly quickly.
Okay, so I would recommend the song Bleed.
Good song. Very
good
good
album.
song.
And I would recommend the song He Was a Jazz Man, which is kind of where they bring a little bit of the ska
kind of reggae
aspect,
reggae
into it. Yeah.
Less punk ska, more like slower reggae.
Also, the song "Live Her Alone" is really good.
Yeah,
and "Count Your Bruises."
I think that was a single they pushed from that album, "Count Your Bruises."
The whole album is just very good.
Have you listened to their album "Dead Language"?
No, I've only listened to "Inviting Light" and "Cavalcade."
That I believe is the one in between. I can't remember, but that's the one that's in between "Cavalcade" and "Inviting Light."
Okay,
it's you'll see the progression between the albums if you listen to that one. It's again worth a listen.
All right.
Shall I move on to an album?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm enjoying this. So now I'm like getting I'm reminded of the fact that I have to listen to Haley Williams.
Yeah. There's so many things to listen to. There's just so many good things keep coming out. It's just even during coronavirus, music still comes out.
Yep.
It gives something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Some movies have been coming out.
At least something
going straight to streaming because theaters
are really straight to streaming.
A lot of things are doing that.
I think some theaters are opening up.
It might be a while before I feel safe enough.
Well, apparently, there's also a I don't know if it's an opera house or if it's a place where theater or classical music is played.
Uh-huh.
And out of the 1,000 seats or how many seats they have, only 100 are being sold.
Oh, interesting.
And they're cutting down the size of the orchestra.
Yeah. I know they're shrinking a lot of places. I think at least half capacity or less.
Yeah, so I'm assuming movie theaters will probably do something similar, where you have 100 seats in a theater, but you can only buy 20.
That's why we need a drive-in.
Oh, a drive-in would be awesome.
There are bands doing drive-in
concerts.
Bert Kreischer, the comedian, is doing a drive-in style comedy show.
Huh.
Which is interesting.
That's actually pretty cool.
Where you hear everything on an FM station of some sort.
Yeah.
It's smart because
weird. I forgot about drive-in movie theaters.
Whenever there's problems, people come up with solutions.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's when innovations of some sort will come into play.
Man, I remember drive-ins.
I love
there was a drive-in in my hometown.
Double features
of Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Yeah. But I remember going there, seeing the screen, and then realizing there were houses up to the left, and those people could probably just watch a movie in their backyard and just tune in on radio.
Probably.
And I was like, these guys are so lucky.
Unless they get mad by seeing the. So drive-ins are loud
too. They probably would get mad.
A lot of people tailgate and this is what I remember. We would always bring a football and lawn chairs.
Yeah, that's true.
We'd go bring a cooler of food and drinks.
Yeah. What a strange idea, a drive-in movie theater.
I loved them when I was a kid.
Same.
When I was really little, my parents used to give me a pillow and I used to lay on the top of the van.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
It was so much fun.
I remember us putting down the back seat of our minivan and getting blankets and snacks absolutely. And whatnot. Yeah.
Drive-ins are awesome.
Anyway, that was a weird little tangent we went on there.
It was. But it was a good tangent. It was relevant, kind of. Another album I've been listening to a lot is the album titled Losing It by Devin K and the Solutions.
Oh, right. I remember you telling me about that.
This came out in 2013, so it's a little old, but they're still active. I learned about this band like a month or two, maybe 2 months ago, because AF Records, it's a Pittsburgh-based record label owned by someone from Anti-Flag, I think Chris, maybe a couple of the guys. But they announced that Devin K and the Solutions was part of their roster. And I was like, that name sounds really familiar. So I looked into them, and Devin K is the guitar player from Direct Hit.
Oh, yes.
I was like, nice.
Another one of our favorite bands.
Yeah. So I checked out some of their old stuff, and I was like, this is really good. So I ordered a vinyl from their website. It showed up. And Devin K had written me a nice little note and included in there.
Yeah.
Like, wrote me like a paragraph of like saying, you're from Nashville. That's crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Coronavirus is a crazy time. It's weird. Hope you enjoy the record. Thanks. Like goofy stuff like that. Really, It was kind of cool to see. Maybe I'll post a picture of it on the podcast so you guys can see too.
On the social medias?
On Instagram. But anyways, Devin K and the Solutions, the album's Losing It. Musically, it's I'd say it's a pop punk record, but there are elements of folk, alternative, rock and roll. It kind of goes all across the border, and it's really pretty good. Great melodies all around. Lyrically, this one tends to go on what he was experiencing at the time of being in a touring band, like the struggles of that, kind of trying to follow your dreams. Like there's songs where he's talking about like have fun explaining it to my family that I'm not going to be around for Thanksgiving this year. Yeah, or like that kind of stuff. Saying like it's sorry, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, dang.
But just everything, the good and bad things about that. But it's very earnest, and I like that, and I respect it. But there's definitely a touch of humor. If you listen to Direct Hit, you kind of know what that is already.
Right.
But I'm really excited to see what they have coming out on AF Records. I'm assuming they have a new album if they're signed to them. They haven't really announced it yet.
But you wouldn't just like get their back catalog, right?
No. But if you want to check out this album, 2 songs that I would recommend. The first one's called Toilet Drunk. And the second one's called I Dare You. Either of those 2 songs are worth checking out.
Nice.
You got an album?
Yeah. Another album that I've been listening to recently to kind of take a break from the punk is the most recent album from Tyler, the Creator.
Oh.
Igor.
Yeah. I've been meaning to listen to this, and I haven't.
It's pretty good. It's a lot different from, I'm not, I don't listen to hip-hop.
A rap aficionado?
I'm not a rap aficionado. But like from what I have listened to, this is unique and different.
Did he win a Grammy for this one? I think it may have won Best Album. I can't remember.
I think maybe
I think it won Best Rap Album, but I can't remember.
It's a very good album. I haven't listened to it and like sat down with the lyrics to like really kind of what's the word? Not a different word than comprehend.
Dive in.
Process all the lyrics.
Yeah.
Because I normally listen to it while I'm working.
Probably a lot to soak in with.
Yeah, there's a lot to soak in. And there's probably a lot to digest about the entire meaning of the album. I really like the album artwork. It's very striking.
Yeah.
And really, I really like it. I would recommend a couple songs if you want to get an idea of what the album is. The song New Magic Wand is really good. And then I think the Igor's theme, the first track, is also really good.
Interesting. I gotta check that out.
It's been an album that I've been listening to very, very often.
I don't know too much Tyler the Creator stuff, but there was one Mac Miller song that he was a feature on.
Yeah,
and he was pretty funny.
Yeah,
he's got that deep kind of gruff voice. Not gruff, but it's kind of gravelly a little bit.
A little bit, yeah,
a little bit. But it was interesting. I've got another album that's also a definite break from punk.
Okay, yeah, let's dive into it.
Run the Jewels, RTJ4.
Run the Jewels.
At the time that we're recording this episode, this album is only 4 days old.
But you've been listening to it often.
I've been listening to this almost nonstop. Run the Jewels is an awesome rap group comprised of 2 rappers. You got Killer Mike from Atlanta, and you've got LP from New York. So you got the North and the South coming together. But they got a really interesting style of rap. Again, I'm not also a rap aficionado. I'm not sure which subgenre you classify this as.
Yeah.
But they've got some sometimes abrasive sounding stuff, some dancey kind of stuff, intense, crazy, good. It's a unique sounding rap that I really quite enjoy. But all their albums kind of go together really well.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of their first 3 albums, and I've been excited that the 4th one's coming out. And they surprise released it with all that's going on in the world right now, with all the Black Lives Matter protests,
Yep.
All the police brutality stuff. So it was very timely.
Yeah. Because they, I don't know what I was going to say, but
Killer Mike is a big activist.
He is, yeah.
Political figure. He comes on talk shows quite a bit in the news.
Yeah, just a little sidebar. I think he gave a speech. I don't know if it was impromptu or anything like that, but in Atlanta.
I think it was impromptu.
That kind of really summarizes pretty well what's going on
it's
in the world right now.
Really a pretty good, articulate, well-delivered speech.
Very articulate, yeah.
It's if you're trying to look for some, I don't want to say answers, but maybe some good insight, I think he delivered it very well.
Yeah.
But this album has some pretty heavy stuff on it, and I'm just going to read a part of one of his verses from the song Walking in the Snow.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard this one already, but I'm just going to read it for all the listeners. So he says, and again, this was recorded last fall, but it sounds like he wrote this last week. He says, and every day on evening news, they feed you fear for free, and you so numb, you watch the cops choke out a man like me. Until my voice goes from a shriek to whisper, I can't breathe. And you sit there in the house on couch and watch it on TV. The most you give's a Twitter rant and call it tragedy. But truly, the travesty, you've been robbed of your empathy. Replaced it with apathy. I wish I could magically fast forward the future, then you can face it and see how effed up it'll be.
Yeah, pretty poignant.
Yeah. Seems prophetic, but at the time it really wasn't. He was talking about things that have already happened.
Yeah, things that have been happening for too long.
Yeah, so it's very heavy like that right there. But you can also go to other songs that aren't politically charged. Well, that's not even politically charged. That's just, I don't know what you would call it. It's just...
You mean that quote?
Yeah, it's not politically charged. It's just
him speaking
real life charged.
Real life,
yeah. That's not I wouldn't say it's a political issue. That's a human rights issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll go from heavy stuff to very lighthearted stuff that is classic braggadocious rap that you can dance to, and it's just like fun music.
Yeah.
So you can go to heavy contemplative to fun, and everything in between. And it flows flawlessly. It's a really, really cohesive 11-song album. I think it's maybe 40 minutes long, so it's not a super long listen.
Give it a listen.
It's definitely worth your time. This one or Band-Aid Brigade's album are definitely on my list for album of the year. Yeah. I think they're so good.
Yeah.
They're going to be, either of those two is probably going to be my album of the year, unless Blink-182 releases anything. And then it's just game over.
And then it's
Sorry.
Game over. Sorry, every other musician in the world.
Sorry. But if you want to check out any of the songs off of this album, I've got 3 recommendations. You can either listen to Ooh La La, which is a fun, dancey one.
Ooh La La.
Out of Sight, which is another fun banger. And the third one, which may make you think a little bit, is called Just, and the S is a $. That one features Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine.
Oh.
It's his 3rd time collaborating with him.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, but very good album.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You got any more?
No more.
No more?
No more for me.
Well, I guess we can give a little bit of a...
just the rest of this beer.
A little bit of a statement now that we talked about some heavy things going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we made one Instagram post.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's probably not enough.
No, it's definitely not enough.
Yeah, with everything that's going on in the world, we don't need to tell you. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
everywhere.
It's the apocalypse. No, it's not. It's probably not the apocalypse, but
it's
something
that we have been fairly and blissfully ignorant of.
Yeah, being 2 white guys,
2 white males in the suburbs.
The biggest thing that I've learned over the past, I guess, since Memorial Day, since since George Floyd's death.
Yeah.
Is I was very ignorant of my own white privilege.
Same here.
You know, like I heard stories. I can't remember who it was, but they basically said like, because you're white, you don't have to worry about how people see you.
Yeah.
When you go out for a jog or for a walk or to the store.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who it was again, but they said that as a black person going out, you have to worry about how you're acting so people won't interpret things wrongly.
Yeah, put a smile on.
You know.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was to the point where like I've heard the term white privilege so many times, and I hate using the word triggered.
Yeah.
But every time I would hear it, I'd be like, it almost seems like like I would perceive it as an attack on me being a white person. I was like, oh come on.
Yeah.
Like that's like reverse racism.
Yeah.
Is what I would kind of see it as. And I have read so many things over the past week that were just like not literally titled this, but articles with similar titles as like, if you're white and you don't understand white privilege, please read this, or something along those lines. And I read so many of those things, and it finally made sense to me.
Yeah,
where it's like exactly how you put it. Like if you get stopped by a police officer for
they look
a
at you completely
violation.
Differently.
Yeah,
I've
got pulled over for one ticket once, and I didn't fear for my life. I feared for what my dad was going to say. That was the only thing I was afraid of.
It really kind of cut me to the core.
Yeah,
you know, that I could have been so blind to that for so long, and it's really, really sad.
It is.
I feel terrible.
Like a crappy person.
I know, and I mean, like I've never thought that way. Like I've always, like I don't care what the color of your skin is, you know.
Yeah.
But still, not even acknowledging it over my entire life, like not even realizing that it existed, because the way we're taught, like about racism in America, like in our schools and in primary school or whatever, high school, it's always taught as like a thing that's in the past. Like there was MLK and then
and it's done
and we're done with it. You know, that's how at least I always perceived it, which I could not have been more wrong about.
They passed the 13th Amendment and now it's done. Yeah,
you know, and I don't know. It's really sad. Yeah. It's really heartbreaking to know that people are suffering like that every single day.
I don't know the solution.
I don't know the solution either. But I know that I can change my thinking.
Yeah.
You know, and I know there are a lot of places that you can donate for like bail funds for people who are being arrested in the Black Lives Matter protests.
Or how about this? If you want to donate and enjoy some good music at the same time, Run the Jewels. You can download their album for free from them, because they do that with all their albums. Or you can pay what you want, and that money will go towards one of the charities that they're supporting.
Yeah.
Go pay $10 and download their album.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah. And I guess to sum up my thoughts on it, like I, as a white guy, am trying to learn right now.
Yeah.
You know, from
lot of listening,
from
a lot
other
of learning.
people.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the answers. There are a lot of much more well-equipped people than us in this podcast to kind of tell people how to feel or what to believe right now.
Through a lot of this, I have been trying to read everything that I can find, because people are posting things left and right. If you go on social media, you'll see it. So I've just been trying to read everything and get other perspectives and other points of view, just to kind of wrap my mind around things and learn a little bit more. So I advise everyone to do the same thing.
Yep.
And don't be triggered. There are things that will make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that's probably a good thing. Like I remember watching or reading something similar to what you're talking about, and I felt like annoyed by it, you know, but I had to come to terms.
But it was just you
with the
not
fact,
wanting to hear it.
Yeah, it was just me not wanting to understand it or not comprehend it. But I mean, things are uncomfortable when you grow and when you learn.
Yeah.
It's never fun, but it's worth it in the end, I think. Yeah. Or I believe it is.
All I can hope for is that people will also be willing to hear other perspectives and learn.
Yeah.
And that this will make a permanent change in some capacity. I don't know what that looks like. We're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
I just hope that there's change for the good.
Yeah. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, I think so too. That's what we think about it. If you have anything to input, please let us know. You can contact us through any of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just look up American Brews and Tunes.
Yep.
Or you can go hit us up on an email, americanbrewsandtunes@gmail.com.
Yep.
Is that our email?
I don't know.
I'm fairly certain it is.
I hardly ever go on it. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
me
sure
too.
that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure. This podcast went longer than I anticipated.
It did, but that's okay.
That's okay. We got good stuff.
I think it was good to talk about that stuff at the end.
It is. It's important. It's very relevant, and it affects everybody, whether you want it to or not. This is America. Also, did you ever Childish Gambino song "This Is America"?
Yeah,
Did you ever watch the video?
I did. Yeah.
Whew.
Now it's very relevant
maybe
and
coming
very
back again,
poignant. Yeah.
Yoy.
Anyway, just we love you guys.
We love you guys.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. But any last thoughts on the beer?
Well, I was actually talking to the beer when I said we love you guys. All you little molecules in the beer. It's very tasty.
Beer is made of molecules. There's yeast in here, so it was alive.
Yeah,
at one
it's
point
alive
in
at
time.
one point. Yeah,
There's
very
chemistry.
it's very good though.
It's still very much a dessert. It's a treat. I like it.
Yeah, it really is.
Looking forward, I believe when we come back and record another episode, it's going to be regular format.
Regular format. Are we still doing the? I'm listening to Sublime.
You're going to listen to Sublime's self-titled
you
album,
listening to?
Sublime.
What did I recommend for you?
It's that Scottish band.
Oh, We Were Promised Jetpacks.
We were promised jetpacks, and the album is
These Four Walls.
These Four Walls. Exactly as I was just about to say.
Took the words right out of your mouth.
It's been a couple of months, but I have listened to it several times. I just got to revisit it.
Yeah, for sure.
Come with some thoughts. There's some Sublime stuff that. Do you remember the song April 22nd, 1992?
I think so. Oh yeah, that's the riots
and riots in L.A.
In L.A., yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
Too real.
Yeah, but
we're living through some history right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we definitely are.
I mean, we lived through the tornado in Nashville, which is crazy for us locally, but with coronavirus and the political climate right now, this history book stuff right now.
Yeah, I've been seeing.
Suck it all in, you guys, because this will be in the history books.
It'll stay with you. I've been there have been a lot of like memes about like kids in 2040 learning about the year of 2020 in history class.
2020,
and like them having like, you know the meme where it's like there's like a big book and a small book. The small book is like the history of the world or whatever, and then the big book is history, the chapter of 2020 or whatever. Yeah, so gosh. It's all crazy right now. But everyone stay safe and I don't know, love each other.
Yeah,
we don't need more of hate and all that type of stuff in the world.
Yeah, take your
right
hate
now
and shove it up your butt.
Take your hate, shove it up your rear end.
As Frank Turner would say, "Be more kind, my friends."
That song is really relevant right now too.
Yeah. I was going to try to record it and post a cover of it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at playing it.
Because it's like a do 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 do.
That part I'm fine with. I can't sing it without doing a British accent. In a world that has decided that it's going to lose its mind.
Be more kind, my friends.
I can't do it.
Try to be more kind.
It's really difficult.
That is. Anyway, let's end it on this because this is going a little bit too long.
Yeah.
That is the sentiment that we hold, and that I think everyone should hold.
Yeah.
In a world that has decided that it's going to lose its mind, be more kind, my friends. Try to be more kind.
Everybody has a backstory. Everybody has their war that's raging inside of them.
Yeah. Well, there is that one, not condition, but there's a phrase for walking by somebody and realizing that they have an entire that they're also living the same type of conscious life that you're living.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's super weird. It's super weird to think about that.
But everybody has their battles. You'll never know it. I mean, you might know it eventually, but you don't know what someone's been through, what their day's like.
Yeah.
Just be more kind.
Definitely. Let's end it there.
Let's finish our beer.
Sounds
We always
good.
say on American Brews and Tunes,
Shibbity-beep-doo!
down the kind hatch.
Cheers, everybody.
And once again, my name is Stephen Johnston,
My name is Jesse Titus.
and we'll see you guys real soon, or you'll hear us.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see you
I
if we
don't
know who you are.
Yeah, if we
I
know
don't
you,
know.
hopefully
Whatever.
we'll see you.
Anyway.
Goodbye.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby